everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, back today with Candied Hearts. And last time, main character, Candace, was locked up behind candy cane bars under King Caramel's command, because Peppermint brought us from the gumdrop forest that we kind of landed in, and under the suspicion that we might be working for the enemy, brought us to King Caramel, and King Caramel has now told us that we need to be behind bars. And while we are searching for a way to get out of the prison, we run into this character here, who looks very awesome and also has the little raven with the keys here, which I don't think I noticed last time at the end of the second part. Maybe it's the crits? Question mark? I have no idea. Peppermint also vowed that he tried to help us, but he's not here right now. He went away to come back, I'm sure, but this other character has shown up. So, we will see. And we are about to know exactly who this character is. And I'm very excited. So let's just get into it. I must have lost my touch if I need to introduce myself. Very well. He swoops low into a bow, swooshing his cloak with a gaudy, theatrical flair.
My name, sweetheart, is Lakritz.
Lakritz? Lakritz? I knew it was Lakritz! Oh my goodness! Oh, you're so fancy. I love your hair. Okay, anyways. Lakritz. Okay. But you already know that, don't you? It's not a question. It's like he can read my thoughts. I ball up my fists and try to smooth my expression. I won't let this charming, elegant, handsome man get to me. I swear. Seems like you already got in. Same. I've heard of you. I've heard of you. I glare at him. I don't want him to think that his charms will work on me. You're the guy who's plotting against the kingdom, and the reason why I'm locked up here to begin with. Lakritz grins at me, looking far too delighted to be told he's the reason for my imprisonment. Just who does this guy think he is? He clicks his tongue as he looks at the bars up and down. My, aren't we in a pickle? Lakritz grins and gestures to a small raven perched atop his shoulder. I recognize it immediately as the bird observing the throne room earlier. This time, however, it's clutching a ring of keys in its beak. Those keys? I don't suppose they're the ones that happen to unlock this cell, are they?
Naturally.
Little Veronica works so hard to snatch them. Aw, look at Veronica! So cute. Just snuggle with Lakritz right here. Little. So cute. I love to see it. I can't say I appreciate the smug look on his face, but if I want to get out, and get out quickly, I need to play my cards right and get those keys. What do you want, Lakritz? If you're taking such a risk to visit me here, there must be something you're hoping to get from me. Sharp and to the point. I like that in a woman. He winks and I roll my eyes. I'm hardly in the mood for flirting when I'm in my PJs, imprisoned in a dungeon in a gotcha game. Fair. I'm aware time is of the essence, so I'll be direct. I'm willing to use these keys to lock the door and release you from your cell, on one condition. I hold my breath. I knew there had to be a catch. There's always a damn catch. You used your newfound freedom to help me with my little quest to destroy the kingdom. I blink a couple of times, dumbfounded at his outrageous request. I mean, what's the particular vision? Forever? Or not forever? What?
Sweetheart.
You met the king, sweetheart. You can honestly tell me the people of Sugar Rush are better off being ruled by him. Lakritz spits out the last word, venom dripping in his voice. His face is darkened by a sneer, his cherry red eyes burning with such intense hatred. It raises goosebumps across my skin. It takes a moment to breathe and compose himself. I can't say I blame him for despising the king. I only just met him, and I don't exactly love the guy. But this level of fury? There's definitely more to this. Maybe it has something to do with Lakritz's mother? Why me? You don't know anything about me. Precisely, but neither does the king. Whatever it is that you've done, or haven't done, has frightened the old man, and frankly, that's the kind of secret weapon I need to destroy the kingdom. And I can't just leave a pretty woman like yourself to rot away in this cell, now can I? The sweet talk never stops with this guy. But why destroy the entire kingdom? Why not just overthrow the king? I asked myself the same thing once, but what happens when King Caramel is gone? Someone has to take his place. The wretched cycle would just continue. You can't just assume the next king would be bad. The next in line would be Peppermint, right? I think he'd make a fine leader for this place.
Ugh.
Can't I? Power corrupts even the kindest of souls. So long as the monarchy exists, the people of Sugar Rush cannot be free. The only solution is to destroy the kingdom in its entirety. Okay, I don't agree with him. I want to question him only because I definitely think the Peppermint could rule and it would be fine. But I don't know if questioning him would not get me out of the cell, you know? I'm a question. I understand where he's coming from, but still, destroy the kingdom? That just seems so extreme. Surely that can't be the only solution. I do see where you're coming from. Lucretz folds his arms across his chest and looks at me expectantly. He raises an eyebrow. But surely there's a less dramatic way to handle things. Besides, without some form of leadership, Sugar Rush will run itself into chaos. Everyone needs a leader. Perhaps, but not this leader. I agree that King Caramel is cruel and unjust, but even so, getting rid of the whole hierarchy is not only unrealistic, it's absurd. There must be another way to get rid of King Caramel without needing to take such drastic measures. I'm disappointed. I thought you, an outsider, would be sympathetic to my vision, but I suppose that's understandable since you've only just arrived. You haven't seen the full extent of King Caramel's corruption. Lucretz sighs, looking me over with contemplative eyes. Perhaps with time, as you see more of how the people suffer under his rule, you'll come to understand why such drastic measures are necessary. Despite not agreeing with his methods, I can't help but be intrigued by such a unique individual. Considering Lucretz completely disappeared from the story in the game, this might be my only chance to get an inside scoop. Lucretz, these plans for a new Sugar Rush, do they have anything to do with why you were exiled? His face hardens and he waves a hand, as though brushing my question out of the air. I'm afraid we don't have time for idle chit-chat. The guards will no doubt be here soon to check for any unsavory types lurking about. Well, he's not wrong. We could be caught at any moment by one of the guards, though I can't help but think he doesn't want to divulge any more information to someone who isn't completely on board with his plan. He takes the ring of keys from his companion and inserts it into the lock. He twists it, but to no avail. The door remains locked. Lucretz, are you sure those are the right keys? Of course. Now wait just a moment, and I'll have you here out of no time. Yeah, sure. It's not like I have anywhere else to be. He sighs and begins flicking through the keys, testing them in the locks. You know, for someone who came in with such swagger, he's really taking his time unlocking this door. This is the guy who wants to dismantle an entire monarchy? Maybe Sugar Rush is doomed either way. Aha! I told you I had it. Yeah. Do you mind opening the door? I'll feel much better when I never have to see those bars ever again. Lucretz opens the door with a flourish, stepping aside so I can finally exit the cell. A wave of relief washes over me as I pass through the door, my freedom restored. For now, anyway. I turn back to face Lucretz. Regardless of his reputation at the castle, there's no denying that without him, I'd still be locked up. Hey, Lucretz.
Naturally.
Yes, sweetheart. I give him the warmest smile I can muster up in the situation. Thanks. Blush, blush. He smiles back at me, and in the low light of the prison, I can almost see a tinge of red spreading across his cheeks. You're quite welcome. I'll admit I'm a little dismayed that you don't see things my way, but I'll forgive you, just this once. He passes the key back to the bird on his shoulder and begins leading the way down the corridor. I'll take whatever opportunity I can to piss off that old man. Lacritz walks ahead of me, so I can't see the expression on his face, but he speaks with such hostility for me to picture the scowl. Regardless of his motivation, I'm grateful for his assistance. So, what now? Operation Escape the Castle? Lacritz looks back at me over his shoulder with a cheeky smirk. Of course. Okay. We exit the passage Peppermint had walked me down earlier and re-enter the castle proper. Between the glamour of wealth and the fact that it's all made out of candy, I should be enjoying the mouth-watering architecture, but it's a little difficult to appreciate that now I'm a fugitive. So how are we going to... Oh. Lacritz quickly spins around and presses a finger to my lips. I want to protest, but before I can, I hear footsteps from around the corner. I almost forgot all about the guards still roaming around. Did you hear? Peppermint captured a spy for Lacritz. Apparently she's weird looking, with strange clothes that aren't made from any sweet anyone has ever seen. That's right, we're not wearing pajamas made out of cotton candy, for example. Hey, I don't look weird. I tug at my pajama shirt self-consciously and catch an amused look from Lacritz in the corner of my eyes. Wait, Peppermint, as in our captain? There's no way someone like him actually caught a spy. The only thing he could catch is a cold. Huh, really? Do these guys have nothing better to do than talk crap about Peppermint? Hearing them berate such a kind man makes me angry. And if not for the predicament I find myself in now, I'd definitely jump in and let them know how wrong they are. Lacritz taps my shoulder, pulling me from my reveries. There's a sense of urgency in his eyes that reminds me we are, in fact, fugitives trying to escape the castle, and the two guards very keen to imprison us are about to turn around the corner any moment now. Operation Escape the Castle needs a little improvisation. I searched my surroundings for ideas. To our left looms the grand doorway to the throne room. I remember passing through it when I was being brought to a prison cell. At this time of night, it's likely to be empty, and we could hide in there while we wait for the guards to pass. To our right is a staircase leading to the next floor, but I have no idea what could be up there. It's a mystery, but it might be better than jumping out of a window or waltzing out the front door. But I don't want to get hot. I need to make a decision now, and I need to make it right now. Where should Lacritz and I go to hide from the guards? I mean, I'm a fan of the left side. We need to move quickly, and I don't trust those stairs. Who knows what might be up there? I point in the direction of the throne room, and Lacritz nods. Together, we slip through the door and close it silently behind us, just as we hear the guards rounding the corner. Just made it in time. Holding our breath, Lacritz and I make eye contact while we wait for the guards to pass. We stand in eerie silence, and I'm sure that the guards must be gone by now. Lacritz and I are left in the empty throne room, lit only by the moonlight streaming through the windows. I let out the breath I had been holding and sigh with relief. That was a close one. I look up at Lacritz, expecting a snarky remark or mischievous grin, but instead, I'm surprised to see him looking around the room with a pensive, almost somber expression on his face. Hey, you okay there, Lacritz? I wave my hand near his face, and he turns to look at me. Lacritz blinks before settling back into an easy smile. Yes, sweetheart, never better. You sure? He raises an eyebrow, his smile faltering. Veronica nudges Lacritz's cheek gently with her head, which seems to cheer him up a little. Oh, that's so cute. It's so cute. Look how cute this is. Being in this castle brings back memories. Some of them fond, some not so much. I recall my conversation with Peppermint earlier. It makes sense that Lucretz would be a little nostalgic seeing the castle after so much time. Peppermint mentioned you used to live here. What was that like? Lucretz stares into the distance again as he ponders my question. He walks towards the windows, the moonlight shimmering across his indigo cloak with each step he takes. I had teachers, specialists in every subject and skill you can imagine, all employed by my father, of course. I was well fed, given the finest clothes to wear, and allowed to spend however many hours I desired reading my way through the royal library. I didn't take this guy for a bookworm, but I guess you should never judge a book by its cover, no matter how flamboyant. It was a sheltered life. Peppermint and I weren't allowed to leave the castle except for special occasions such as parades. Even then, our father was paranoid. He told us to stay inside, not as a punishment, but rather for our protection. I don't know, being allowed to stay inside all day, pampered and protected, free to spend as much time as you want on your hobbies, that sounds like a dream to me. Imagine how many more events I could rank in if I didn't have to worry about work, or bills, or groceries. I mean, that's fair. A fair point. Though I'm sure it looks quite different when you're also royalty. I hear Lucretz click his tongue as he leans against the window and looks down at the town below. The sound is enough to grab my attention again, but it's the scowl darkening his face that keeps my focus on him. I was a fool, a weak and naive fool, who couldn't fend for myself and had no idea of the lives of those I thought I would rule one day. Oh, I had almost forgotten that he's the eldest son. Before his exile, Lucretz would have been the heir. But now, Peppermint is next in line to rule, a duty he never thought he'd have to fulfill, and one that no one thinks he's capable of fulfilling. The brother who thought he would be responsible for running the kingdom is now a criminal in his home, and hell-bent on destroying it. How did these boys end up in this mess? Lucretz turns back to look at me, his eyes burning with a fiery passion. But now I know everything, sweetheart. I won't rest until the king is gone and the people are free. He pushes away from the window with a dramatic kick and points towards the doorway we just entered from.
Come! It's time we made our grand escape!
Ooh. With his boots clicking across the floor, Lucretz makes his way across the room and presses his ear against the door. Once he's satisfied there are no more guards on the other side, he carefully opens the door and gestures for me to exit. The ladies first. Thank you. Feeling invigorated by his passion and flair for the dramatic, I return to the hallway once more. I double-check for any guards, and when I'm satisfied that only Lucretz and his bird friend are nearby, I let out a sigh of relief. I'm so ready to be out of here. Since I'm unfamiliar with the layout of the castle, I let Lucretz take the lead, following him through twist and turn, trusting he knows where he's going. Just as I'm about to ask him if we're planning to leave before sunrise, he pulls me around a corner and presses a finger to his lips. Peppermint? Darn it. I know I left them around here somewhere. Yes, Peppermint? What's happening? A familiar voice pipes up further down the corridor. I peek around the corner and see Peppermint standing not too far from me, frantically patting down his pockets. Or is it the keys? He lets out a frustrated sigh. How did I manage to lose a whole ring of prison keys? Father's going to be livid when he finds out. Peppermint puts his head in his hands and pauses for a moment, before slapping his cheeks and dashing off down the corridor, determination burning in his teary eyes. Oh, Peppermint. I need to find them quick, or I'll be too late to help her escape. I feel a twinge of guilt in my chest as I realize Peppermint is looking for the keys currently held by my partner in crime, a set he was going to use to help me escape. He really did have a plan after all. I pull back around the corner and look pointedly at Lucretz. He rolls his eyes and gestures to his bird companion. It takes off in flight, the keys jangling as it flaps in pursuit of Peppermint. All right, time to get out of here. Yeah, let's go. After a few more lefts and rights and going down a set of stairs, we make it out of the castle and into sweet, sweet freedom. I stretch up my arms and take a deep breath. Ah, I never thought I'd be so happy to be outside. Lacritz stifles a laugh and attempts to give me a stern look. It's not very effective. Calm down, sweetheart. We're not in the clear yet. Relax. We made it out.
Stop right there!
Oh. Is it Peppermint? Oops. Lacritz shakes his head at me as we turn to see who caught us. I just had to jinx it, didn't I? To my surprise, the man standing before us is none other than a Peppermint.
Mint. Long time no see, brother.
Hi, Peppermint. Don't call me that. His voice trembles as he places a hand on his sword, while Peppermint looks positively shaken. Lacritz is the complete opposite, oozing confidence as he smiles at his brother and slowly raises his hands. Is this really how you're going to greet me after all these years, Mint? I suppose I should expect nothing less from the king's lapdog. Peppermint visibly flinches. I'm not his lapdog. I'm a captain. I love Peppermint so much. Oh, there's a difference. Peppermint grimaces and his grip on his sword tightens. Our eyes meet and I do best to look reassuring from this distance. He nods, takes a breath, and addresses his brother again. This time his voice is steady. Step away from Candice, Lacritz, or else. Huh, or else what, Mint? You'll kill me. Peppermint's eyes widen in horror.
What?
Of course not. I would never hurt anyone, especially not my own brother. Half brother, but I'm touched nonetheless. I'm surprised that after all the years we've been apart, Father hasn't convinced you to utterly despise me. Yet. Despise? I could not. In any case, if you have no further questions, I believe we'll be taking our leave now. Lacritz grabs my hand, turning his back to Peppermint. Wait! Lacritz sighs, his hands dropping to his sides. Peppermint similarly relaxes, his hand no longer on the hilt of his sword. Waiting? How did you even get here? We have guards patrolling the castle 24/7, not to mention patrolling the town, the forest. Lacritz taps his nose with his finger. That would be a secret, dear brother. Fine, but at least tell me why you helped Candice escape. The reason is simple. I couldn't stand to see the vile old man who calls himself king kill yet another innocent person. Another innocent? What do you mean? Lacritz smiles, but there is no warmth in it. A chill runs down my spine, and I hear Peppermint gulp. Maybe you should ask Father yourself. Another innocent? Then who was the first? Before I have a chance to ask, Lacritz sets off walking away from the castle. He looks at Peppermint one last time, his eyes cold.
Maybe it was Lacritz's mother? I'm assuming, because, like, why all of a sudden, you know, would you just, like, want to overthrow the kingdom? There's, like, a personal motive to that, you know?
Goodbye, brother. Next time we meet, things won't be so pleasant. As he passes me, he leans in to whisper a parting message in my ear.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, sweetheart. If I try to steal you away, I believe my dear brother will just follow us, and I can't have him spoil our fun. If you miss me, meet me in Gumdrop Forest. With a final, parting swish of his cloak, Lacritz waltzes into the darkness of the night, his exit just as dramatic as his entrance. I turn back to face Peppermint. He's staring at where Lacritz had been standing, his lips pressed together in a firm line and his brow furrowed. You okay, Peppermint? Peppermint's head snaps up with a start at the sound of my voice. His face creases into an uneasy smile.
Yes!
Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be? He clearly isn't okay. You sure? You know you don't need to lie to me, Peppermint. You can tell me the truth. Peppermint nods vigorously. He walks towards me, rummaging in his pockets. Once he reaches me, he gives me a small sack. I peek inside. There's a handful of chocolate coins in here. Oh, just like the in-game currency, but why is he giving me these? Thank you? Peppermint smiles at me, and I notice a sparkle in his eyes start to return. You're welcome. What are these for? Head to the general store in town. Then, you'll find someone to take you to Gummyville. He pats my hand and pulls away from me. Thankfully, these PJs have pockets.
I promise.
You'll be safe there, Candace. I promise. Just as I'm about to thank him once more, I hear footsteps and voices heading towards us. Peppermint gives me a gentle nudge. Go. I'll talk to them to slow them down. But, no buts. He'll need to leave or you'll be caught, and then we'll both be in trouble. Aw, thank you, Peppermint. With that, Peppermint waves goodbye and makes his way back to the castle. I stare at his back as he leaves. I know I should leave, but my mind begins to spin. If I escape, will Peppermint be okay? If I do leave the kingdom, will I really be content to live the rest of my days in Gummyville knowing how the people of Sugar Rush are treated? I pat the coins in my pocket. It's now or never. But what exactly should I do with my newfound freedom? I look back at Peppermint and remember how the guard spoke to him, how his father spoke to him. I can't let him go back there and take the blame for my escape. I've abandoned him once before, and I won't make that same mistake again. Peppermint, wait! I run up and tug on his sleeve. He turns to face me, his eyes wavering as they meet mine. Go on, Candace. This is your only chance. No.
What?
What do you mean, no? If you don't go now, I'm not going anywhere. Not like this. I let go of his sleeve and cross my arms. Peppermint doesn't seem to know what to make of my sudden stubbornness. I can hear the guards quickly approaching. If I leave now, the king will see it as your fault. Think about it. He'll wonder how I escaped, and he'll either have to tell him I got out on my own, despite you putting me in my cell, or that somehow, on your watch, Lucretz is able to sneak into the castle and make off with your prisoner. Peppermint gulps. He fidgets nervously, glancing back and forth between me and the castle. But there's no other way. I can't send you back to that cell. He'll kill me. I know.
Please.
So then hurry up and leave, while you still can. I will, but not without you. Peppermint's jaw drops. I love it. Let's run away together. Why stay in Sugar Rush? Come with me. There's no need for you to take the fall for this. It's not your fault. If you go back there now, who knows what your punishment will be. Don't go back in there, Peppermint. Please. I just can't leave, Candace. No matter what Father says or what the guards say about me. He straightens himself up a little, resolve burning in his eyes. I was sworn duty to protect Father and his people. I can't just abandon that. You won't be abandoning them, Peppermint. I tug on his arm with more urgency and burning tears in my eye. Spend some time in Gummyville with me until things are blown over. Even if it's just for one night. Just don't go back in there. Not now. Please. Peppermint bites his lip. The voices of the guards are getting louder. The pink-haired captain stares into my eyes, searching for an answer. After a moment, he nods and takes my hand.
Okay.
All right, Candace, let's go. Gripping his hand tightly, we run into the night in the direction of the general store, the castle growing ever smaller behind us. Oh, we escaped with Peppermint. How cute. I love that. I'm assuming that's the end of the demo. I think probably my other option is to like make choices that Lucretz would like me. I'm just gonna leave that for now. I won't play it on screen. So if you want to see that, please check out the game and the demo. It's wonderful. I really like Peppermint, so I'm gonna stick with that. I really like the music. I like the partial voice acting. The story is really fun, and I'm really curious to see how it will all continue after this point. So yeah. If you also enjoyed watching this playthrough, please check out the game. Also like the video if you liked it. If you want to see me playing more visual novels from Otome Jam 2023 or just visual novels in general, please subscribe. I upload videos at least once a day, Monday through Friday. So I'm pretty, active on the channel. If you like to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Taldellery on Twitter. It's in the description below, the link for that. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for any more games I should play, whether it's from Otome Jam 2023 or outside of this event, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. I'm currently working my way through as much as I can. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I really like Candice, aka the main character, a lot. It's quite fun. I also wouldn't know what to do if I just randomly woke up in my favorite Candied Hearts game. Gotcha game. So, taking it in stride, I see. I'm gonna see if there's any. Oh, this is the common. Or maybe it is. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong. This is just the common route. Oh, nice. Okay, so I don't even need to come back here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I will be back next time with something even as fun as this. So, goodbye.